Hey there, thank you for joining me for today's practice. My name is Paula. Today is a somatic yoga practice, focus on the hips and the upper body. So we'll spend a fair bit of time in a seated position. If that's uncomfortable for you, you could do the first part, would work in a chair fine. The second part, you might come down onto your back. Otherwise, you could also elevate your hips by sitting on a folded blanket. That could be really helpful as well. So see how you go in the seated position. Make sure you're nice and comfortable and we'll make a start. Finding your comfortable seated position to begin with, whichever leg in front is fine. Keeping the eyes open for a moment and taking some time to notice the space that you're in. So having a sense of the space that's in front of you. You might even just notice a couple of objects that are in front of you. And then coming more towards a sense of space, having the sense of the space around the sides of the body and the space behind you, the space above you, and the space below. And then when you feel comfortable to do so, closing down the eyes and landing and locating inside your own body. Just noticing just where you're at right now. Just feeling into your sitting bones, sense of grounding down through the sitting bones and then lengthening up through the crown of the head. Allowing the muscles of the face to soften. Shoulders falling away from the ears. And bringing the attention to the breathing. Noticing the breath as it comes in through the nose. And as you exhale out through the nose. There is a sense of expansion as you inhale and a grounding and falling inwards or contracting as you exhale. So noticing these qualities, expanding as you inhale, grounding and contracting as you exhale. Trying to extend into the breathing, so slowing down the inhale and slowing down the exhale. As you inhale and notice that expansion, can you keep that grounding through the sitting bones at the same time? So there's an expanding up and out, but also grounding down and in. As you exhale, you're grounding down and contracting in, but at the same time, that sense of lengthening upwards is also with you. So holding both of those qualities at the same time, it's as if one quality just moves a little bit forward in your attention and focus. So as you expand on the inhale, you're grounding down. As you exhale, grounding down, but also extending up. Last couple of moments just with the breathing. And letting that breath practice go, blinking open the eyes. Starting to move into a cat-cow with the spine in this seating position, we're going to extend through the spine, taking an inhale, lifting up through the eyes, and then as you exhale, curling the tailbone under, draw the navel in, tucking the chin in. So you can make this movement as large or as small as you like. So feel free to take your own time and have a play with how small or large you want to make this movement. You might be keeping your eyes closed or they might be open, and that might feel nice to be tracking the eyes through the space and using that to ground you as well. Trying to drop into just that felt experience of these shapes and knowing that we're not having to go to our end range here. Just exploring the movement. Noticing which part of the body you're moving through. You might slow down through particular areas of the spine. And then finishing off your last one when you're ready, coming back to center. Extending the arms out to the side, take an inhale. Exhaling, place that right hand down on the mat and take the left arm up and over into your side bend, dropping the right shoulder away from the ear, and then release that elbow down again, taking an inhale, and then exhale, extending back over to the side. So a little rebound, inhale, and then exhale to extend. Maybe there's some more space as you come down. Inhale to rebound, and then exhale to come over. We'll go one more time. Inhale, a little rebound, and then exhale to reach over. And then keeping the side bend, head where it is, release that left arm down. And you might like to let your head relax just to find that stretch along the left side of the neck, tip of the left shoulder moving away from the left ear, and then letting the head trail behind as you come back upright. Swapping the legs around, taking the arms out to the side, inhale, exhale over to the left hand comes down, right arm up and over, side bend, dropping that left shoulder away from the ear, and then taking an inhale to rebound up, soft bend through that right elbow, and then exhale to reach out. And again, inhale to come up a bit, and then exhale to go a little bit. Maybe there's more space, maybe not. Inhale to come up, and then exhale, reach out. We'll go one more time. Inhale to come up, and then exhale, reaching out, and then keeping the side bend, take that right arm down. You might like to just let the head relax to deepen a little bit into this right side of the neck. Tip of the right shoulder moving away from the right ear. Easy breathing. And then imagine you're being pulled up by the fingertips, head is trailing behind, coming all the way back upright with the torso. Keeping the legs here as they are for now. Take the arms up to shoulder height, and then let's bring the left arm underneath, right arm on top, taking the hands to the outsides of the shoulders, so as if you're giving yourself a bit of a hug. We're going to keep those lower ribs knitting in or drawing in, and then ground down through the sitting bones, lift the elbows, lift the sternum, but those lower ribs keeps drawing in, inhale, and then exhale, little C curve through the upper body. And again, inhale, elbows lift, eyes lift, and then exhale. One more time, inhaling, and then exhale. And then inhale to center, exhale to twist to the right, letting the eyes go over to the right, and then inhale center, exhale twisting to the left, eyes to the left, and inhale back to center. Releasing the arms down, swap the legs around, right leg in front, arms up to shoulder height, right arm underneath, left arm on top, crossing the arms, and once again going for this thoracic extension, lifting through the sternum, lift the eyes, inhale, and then exhale, C curve, letting the chin drop in, inhale, lower ribs in, lift the sternum, lift the eyes, lift the elbows, and then exhale. And one more time, inhale, lift, and then exhale, releasing down, and then inhale to center, exhale, twist to the left, eyes looking over to the left, inhale center, exhale twist to the right, eyes to the right, And then inhale, center, and releasing the arms down. Uncross the legs and place the feet so they're in a wide position, as if we're in a seated malasana type position, long through the spine. For the first part of this, you can use your hands behind you. This is somewhere you might want to sit up a little bit higher if you feel like you need a bit more support. Otherwise, hands down. You can be flat down if you like to on the fingertips. And we're just going to start with our windscreen wiper action. So dropping the knees over to the right, letting the knees relax down, that left knee folding in. Inhale through center, and then dropping the knees over to the left. Inhale, center. And then remembering to go at a range that feels okay for you. So you don't have to go full range. You can make this a bit smaller if you'd like to. Just mobilizing through the hips. And come back to center. Now we're going to come a bit more upright, and we're not going to use our hands for support anymore. We're going to drop the knees over to the right and then keep spiraling around the central axis, the spine, and turning the eyes to look over the right shoulder. Think about initiating from the left hip. The left hip draws down, and that initiates the action of bringing the legs up and then spiraling around the central axis. The head is the last thing to come, and you're looking over the left shoulder. Right hip draws down. That initiates the action, and then head is the last thing to look over the right shoulder. Left hip draws down, coming through center. The hips, legs, everything spiraling around the central axis, looking over that left shoulder. And then coming back to the right hip drawing down, coming through the center. And there's a bit of a walk forward here with the hips. And let's hold it here for a moment. Take a couple of breaths, looking over the right shoulder. And remembering, if you're feeling like you're really right at that end range, you could just back off a little bit. You don't have to be in that full extension or spiral here. Just making it feel good for you and your body. We're changing, we're going to reverse the order of the same action. So we're going to turn the head, the eyes looking over the left shoulder, and then that initiates the movement, upper body, hips. Head is the first thing to reach towards the left. I'm just going to shuffle myself a little bit further back. And so same thing, we're going to turn the head, and then this initiates the action back into the twist and the spiral around. Head turns to the left, everything else follows. And last time, head turns to the right and everything else follows. One more variation. I'm just going to move myself back once again. If you're moving around the space, that's absolutely fine. I just want to make sure you can see me. So this last variation is a bit tricky, but just give it a go. We're going to only move the eyes to the left. So the eyes move to the left, it stays to the left, and then that's what initiates the head, and everything else follows. So we're looking over the left shoulder, eyes to the right, that initiates the action, everything moves over to the right. Just the eyes to the left, everything else follows. Last one, eyes to the right, everything else follows. And then coming back to center. Let's extend the legs out long. So when we're working with those sort of details, it's almost like we're trying to challenge the body because we're often moving in the same way. So noticing where you initiate movement from is a way to vary the way that you move and think about the way that you move. So, and creating just those little extra challenges so you would never think about initiating movement from the eyes, but it actually does have a really huge impact on the way that we feel and how we can focus and how we can sense being in our bodies. So legs are long, and we're just going to take a few moments just to walk the hips back. So you don't have to use your hands, but just a sense of walking back through the hips. It can be very small. We're just really mobilizing a little bit through the hips and the legs. And then feet out in front of you, flexing through the feet, taking some circles. You could use your hands behind you if you need a little bit of extra support here. Checking with the breathing. And then changing the direction of the feet. And then coming to stillness here. Now, if you can, you might pop your hands over the balls of the feet. If that doesn't feel right for you, then you can just bring your hands onto the thighs, onto the legs, and you can just pedal out through the feet. If there's some space, and this is, you don't have to have a super long spine, so you can be quite curved here. We're going to just press through the ball of one foot and then the other, the left foot and then the other. So I like to inhale as I press and then exhale to release. Inhale to press and then release. And again, inhale to press and release. And again, and you can let the rest of the body follow the action. So you might be feeling this through the back chain of the body, most likely through the backs of the legs into the lower back. And we'll just go one more time and then releasing the arms down and just letting yourself fold down for a moment, letting the head really relax. Slow breath in and out through the body, through the nose, I mean. And then coming back upright, making your way down onto your back. Just taking a moment in your constructive rest position, feeling both feet flat onto the mat, shoulder heads dropping down. Just orienting yourself to this new position here, lying down on your back. And then let's place the right ankle on top of the left thigh. You can move your arms a little bit further away from the sides of the body so you've got space. Thinking about that right knee pressing away from the right shoulder. Back of the pelvis flat onto the mat as much as you can. Taking an inhale. As you exhale, letting the legs come down. If you can, you might come all the way down so you're standing down onto that right foot. If that doesn't feel available, just go to where you can, or you could even set yourself up with a bolster or a cushion to give yourself a bit more height there. So inhale as you come up. And then exhale, coming down towards the ground in your twist in this figure 4 shape. So just taking a few rounds of this rotation. Easy breathing. Eyes can be open or closed. The next time you bring your right foot down towards the ground, just holding it here. If it doesn't feel right to be holding it, you could just keep mobilizing. That's absolutely fine. If it's possible, just taking a few breaths here. That right knee pressing away from the ground rather than letting that knee fall in. We're having to be a little bit more active here. Relaxing the lower back down towards the mat. Taking one more full breath. And then let's come back up to center and releasing that down. Taking both legs long for a moment, arms butt down by your side. Listening in, checking out any feedback from the body after that posture or that sequence of moving that we've been doing. And then let's bring both feet flat onto the mat once again. And we'll go to the other side. So arms a little bit away from the body, taking that left ankle on top of the right thigh. Both sides of the pelvis flat down. So it's that right pelvis often wants to lift up here. So you want to take both sides of the pelvis flat if you can. Taking an inhale. As you exhale, letting that left leg or right leg come down towards the right side. And then inhale to come up. Exhaling to twist and inhale to come back up. And again. And then the next time you bring the legs down to the right, just holding there, pressing that left knee away from you. Eyes can be open or closed. Easy breathing. Lightly scanning through the body and noticing if there's anywhere that you can let go. And then coming back to center, uncrossing the legs once again, finding feet flat on the mat, taking both legs long, arms down by your side. And once again, just observing, checking out the right side of the body and the left side of the body. And then bringing the feet flat onto the mat once again, pressing down through the feet and lifting the hips up slightly over to the left, and then legs up into your tabletop position, letting the legs drop over to the right, and then opening the arms out into your T shape. So here we're going to bring this left hand across the chest and slide it down the right hand until both hands meet. You might want to pop a towel or something underneath your head if your neck's feeling a bit uncomfortable. And then from here, we're going to peel open that arm to face the center, and then coming across the chest once again. So inhale to open and exhale to close. And feeling free to just go at a pace that feels right for you. Just gentle thoracic mobilizations here. And the next time you open to the ceiling, we're going to have a bit of a change. So think about pressing that left knee towards the right. So that initiates the movement, and we're going to imagine we're closing a book. And closing a book here, and then leading with the fingers, that opens the book back up. Left knee squeezes towards the right to close the book. And then fingers open up, inhale. Left knee squeezes, exhale. Opening up the fingers to the left. Last one. And then coming back to that open position, just taking a couple of breaths. You might want to turn the head to the left or just keep the head looking straight ahead, your choice. Allowing that left shoulder blade to be heavy. And then bringing the feet back towards the center, come back into your constructive rest position, squaring off the hips. And then pressing down through the feet, take the hips over to the right, lifting the legs up to your tabletop, dropping them to the left, opening the arms up to your T shape, right shoulder blade heavy, and then peeling this right hand, sliding it across the chest and placing it into the left hand, and then peeling open to the center, and then exhale to close. And then inhale to open. Take your own time. Notice the center of the action, so the thoracic spine, just very gently opening and closing through this movement. And then the next time you open up to the ceiling, let's hold it here so that just a slight change. Squeezing that right knee towards the left, and then that initiates to close the book. And then the fingertips open up back into your open twist position. Squeeze the right knee to the left. to close the book, and then fingertips open out. And again. Just keeping the breath open. I like to inhale as the arm opens out and exhale as you close, but feel free to do what feels right for you. And then finishing off your last one, opening out one last time, holding it here for a couple of breaths. Allowing the right shoulder blade to be heavy. And then bringing the feet back towards the center, finding your constructive rest position, bringing the knees in towards the chest, hugging them in just for a couple of breaths, relaxing the shoulders, taking one more inhale. Stay for the exhale, maybe squeeze the knees in a little bit more, and then let's place the feet back down, extending the legs out long, preparing for your Shavasana. If there's anything that you need to make yourself feel more comfortable or warm, removing anything that might be distracting, then feel free to do that. And then settling into your position, feet falling away from one another, arms away from the body, palms facing up. Feeling those points of contact with the back surface of the body and the mat. So imagining those points of contact getting a little bit deeper with each exhale. Allowing the whole body to soften. Allowing yourself to rest here for the next few minutes. Please feel free to stay resting here for as long as you would like to. Thank you for joining me for today's practice. Namaste.